We begin tonight with developing news out of Springfield, where police are investigating the deaths of two people inside their home. Welcome, everyone, to Western Mass News at 5 on this Monday. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Mary Wilson. Western Mass News reporter Lexi Oliver joins us live with what we know so far. Lexi?
Chris and Mary, police tell us they responded to a house on Maynard Street around 10:15 last night. Now, this was the scene when our Western Mass News crews first arrived. Police say a relative of people who lived there found a man and a woman dead inside the house from apparent gunshot wounds. They say there is no threat to the public. The Springfield Police Homicide Unit and the Hamden District Attorney's Office are investigating. And we're still working to get more information for you, but we'll bring you the very latest as soon as it comes into our newsroom. So be sure to stick with Western Mass News, both on air and online. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Lexi Oliver, Western Mass News.
Lexi, thank